Hey guys, it's Mumtaz Yusuf, also known as Taz, Tasmanian, T Bambino, Dunks. So, I truly believe I have proof that there is an afterlife. Life continues after death, which would mean there's no such thing as death. So, let's put it like there's somewhere we go. I mean, there's a place that our soul, spirit, energy goes when we leave, when our bodies die. It's the same place our spirit came from. Energy, soul, spirit. The reason why I say that is because, okay, let's start over. So, a lot of what I've realized, a lot of this proof is actually um, was made possible through DMT, dilithium, I believe it's called. I might be saying it wrong, but DMT. Yeah, it's been, DMT's kind of like popping up. It's been around for a long time, but it seems like people now are like, recreational use or even, well, I've used it, but my uses were strictly scientific and non-recreational. Every time I ever did it, it was for a purpose. I would ask myself a question, trying to get an answer, but looking within myself. And during my whole experience, I came to I did research. I read, papers. I read research about it, and then I read all types of what people common knowledge about it, and all types of things. And yeah, a lot of DMT is what helped me realize something, which is there is a place that we go. Our spirit energy goes after our bodies perish. And it's the same place that we came from before we were born. See, I say this because I don't know if when when I first came across DMT, everybody, it was common knowledge that people were saying, DMT, what is that? It's in our bodies when we're born and when we die. Well, born when we die, like what? Like, so when we're born, what does that mean? When we're born, what it really is, what people are trying to say is not when we're born, because DMT is not in your body when you come out your mom's. You know what I mean? No, it's in the cell. When there's when the sperm goes into the egg and then boom, right? DMT's present there. That's when the moment um, of cellular, you know what I mean? Uh, when the two DNA cells come together, I believe, or when the sperm and the egg meet, and then the conception. At the moment of conception, DMT is present, and at the moment of death, DMT is present. So, what does that tell us? It tells us that DMT is there when, at the moment we are created. So, it's like energy is pulled from somewhere. So, energy is coming from somewhere. So, it would be fair to think that since it's in our bodies when we pass, maybe that's the same place as when we're conceived, right? If DMT is there, I mean, it's like an ambassador to the place we came from and the place we go. I mean, it just makes sense, right? That it's in our presence when we're when we're born, like created, like literally in when we're just like one cell, DMT's there, you know. So there's like the energy, the spirit molecule or whatever spirit comes into the uterus of your mom and into the cell, and it, you know, and you are the essence of you is you know born. DMT's there. So, and then when we leave this, our spirit leaves our body, DMT's there. So, you know, it just makes sense, right? So, with that being said, then I read a 16-page study from I believe it was the University of Michigan. Scientists there did a study in regards to DMT. So they were trying to answer a question, which was, why why do people hallucinate so vividly, you know, when they're, you know, smoking DMT? Because, you know, I've had my share of experiences. You know, I you know, go into depth with it. Maybe that could be another video. But yeah, that's what happens. You see things, but you're not. You know, it's not like a. It's not like LSD. It's like everything's still there. You know, depending. I guess it depends on how much DMT you do, but if you do a good amount, like a fair amount, everything's still here. Like you're still here, but everything's different. Like things look different, and so they wanted to answer that question. And I read that, you know, and it's just a curious question. But then it kind of tied into everything. After I read it, I was like, wait a minute, and I was like, nobody's ever talking about this. So what I'm trying to say is, they did this study, right? And they had these patients, and they injected these patients with DMT intravenously. So as they injected these people with DMT, they were scanning their brains, right? So to see, you know, what's going on up there. So they injected some people with like a low dose, a little bit of DMT. Some people injected them with a lot, and some people got placebo. They get nothing. So what they found out was, so there's three types of brain waves, right? There's alpha, beta, and theta, right? I think there's only three. I mean, that's the three I remember. So, anyways, there's three brain waves, right? Alpha is when you're awake and you're just awake and you're just living your life, doing your thing, right, in the world, and you have alpha brainwaves. Then you have beta brainwaves, which occur when you're in relaxed mode, kind of just like, you know, just relax and just chilling and just like watching TV and just not really doing much. It's just your body's just laying there and you're just like, and your eyes are open, your brain is still active, but you're not engaging with your world around you, I believe. Okay, and then there's the third brainwave pattern, which is theta brainwaves. And theta brainwaves, I was reading about all this in all these 16 pages. A lot of it I couldn't really understand fully, but I read it a few times, and then I got the overall picture of what they were trying to say. So anyways, back to the brainwaves. So alpha, beta, and then there's theta brainwaves, right? Theta brainwaves occur when we are in deep REM sleep, right? So back to the study. So they're studying these people. They inject these guys with, or whoever, girls, with this DMT, right? They're scanning the brains, and guess what they found out? They find out that when the people are injected with the DMT, their brain wave pattern changed from regular, like alpha or beta, to theta. So I'm like, think about that. Like, so what does that mean? That means that, so when anyone does DMT, our brains look like they're in REM sleep. It means that, so they came to the conclusion that when you smoke DMT, or when you do DMT, it's like you start to dream while you're awake. That was their conclusion. Doing DMT, the reason why we hallucinate is because we're dreaming while we're awake. It causes your brain to go like into a dream mode, like we're dreaming. So then I was like, dreaming, and then I was like thinking about what we were talking about earlier, about like how DMT is present when we're born, when we die. So okay, so DMT is in our bodies when we're born and when we die, when we're conceived and when we die. So that tells you something. One thing is, that's where our that's wherever we come from. The energy, this little energy comes from, and it grows into the bigger energy. And when it leaves our body, DMT is present, so it goes to the same place, right? It would only make sense, right? And then when I heard DMT causes our brainwave pattern to turn into theta, like if we were sleeping, dreaming. So does that mean somehow our dreams are connected to the place we come from, our spirit comes from, and where we go? Because all three of those places, it has to do with DMT. And DMT makes your brain go into dreaming mode. But DMT is there when we're born and when we die. Dream mode, born, when we die. Dream mode. So wherever this place is that we come from and we go, right? And DMT is present to, be the ambassador to that place. And when we ingest the DMT, our body's going to go into the dream state. So it makes sense to think that our dreams, or wherever we go in our dream, that dreams are somehow, I'm not sure how exactly, but dreams are connected to the spirit world, guaranteed. I mean, I read the paperwork, and I'm pretty sure all this is all scientific fact. It's like, the whole born and die stuff, that's like common knowledge, DMT, there's common DMT knowledge, right? So that's always stuck with that. So I mean, I'm pretty, like, almost 999% sure that that's true. And then the other one with the whole brainwave pattern thing, that's true. I read it was a report from Michigan State, a scientific, experiment, study / experiment, whatever. Yeah, so that's evident. I mean, they both scientifically explained that. It only makes sense. That's what I think. What do you think? Leave a comment. Let me know. My name's Tasmani Mumtaz Yusuf, and thank you for watching. And have a great rest of your day. And smile and be happy, because when you see your family and you're missing and your loved ones in your dreams, remember something. It's really them. I know that for a fact. You know what? Okay, I'll just tell you. So I ended up doing DMT one day, and I ended up astral projecting out of my body, meeting my uncle, and then waking up and finding out that he just passed away at the very same moment I astral project. If you guys want me to tell you about that story, leave a comment, and maybe I'll make another video. All right, thanks, and smile, because there's proof that there is a place. There's a place that we go, and it's the same place that we came from. And DMT has proven that through an unintended way, which I pulled together, but it makes sense, right? Okay, goodbye.